Hi, my name is Corey Haynes, and just a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm an exercise science major and a nutrition minor with the dream job of working at the Cerebral Palsy Center at Baptist Hospital in Winston-Salem. I want to be a physical therapist. I have two older sisters, and some hobbies of mine include running and baking. And then most recently, I've actually gotten into climbing, which is really fun. So here's the picture from my Big Five personality test. And I'm about to go into each one in more detail. So for open-mindedness, I was in the 24th percentile, which means that I'm pretty uncreative and I have narrow interests and I'm down to earth. I would agree with that I'm uncreative. It's never really been something that I've been good at. I'm just significantly more logical thinker. So how something's been done is how I'm going to do it. So for conscientiousness, 94th percentile, I would most definitely agree with that. I'm very organized. I'm really good at time management. I love my planner. So I definitely agree with that one. So for extroversion, I scored in the 52nd percentile, which means I'm neither social or reserved, which is kind of funny because right when I meet new people, I'm really shy, especially if it's just like one person or even if it's in a group, I'm really shy and quiet. But then once I get to know people and I warm up, I would say I'm really extroverted. So I'm really chatty and talkative and, can get loud and crazy. So I think it's funny that I'm kind of in the middle because I feel like that is how my personality is. Sometimes right when you meet me, I'm quiet, but then once I get to know you and you get to know me, I definitely open up more. So agreeableness, I scored in the 63rd percentile, which means I consider others' feelings. I thought that this would be a little higher personally. I have been known to hold a grudge or two. So forgiving people sometimes is something that I need to work on. And then lastly, negative emotion. I scored in the 89th percentile, which I am shocked that it wasn't like the 100th percentile because I know that I'm really anxious all the time and I worry about the future, especially right now as I'm applying to grad school. It really stresses me out. So, as well as future leadership and how I think like past things I've done and current things that I am doing will help me. In the past and still today, I shadow different physical therapists. You have to do it for grad school, but it really has taught me a lot about there is a distinction between a good physical therapist and a bad physical therapist from what I've seen. And so I definitely have had some role models. People that are really good at their job and they're really attentive and they really care and they know what they're talking about. Also in the past, I worked retail for a year and a half. Wouldn't recommend it, but it taught me a lot of patience, especially with customers who kind of think they want things their exact way, even if I couldn't do that, because of rules that we have set in place. And then also just like service with a smile no matter what. And then also currently, I actually started a club here at App. It's called She's the First. So being a co-founder and a president of a club it's hard, but it's great. It's worth it. So this is where like being high in organization is really helpful from starting something from scratch. So I like organize events and meetings and getting new people engaged. And this is one thing that really helped to push me out of my comfort zone. Trying to plug She's the First as hard as I can to new people. And so I definitely have become more extroverted in meeting, other club presidents and just like new people in general to try to get them engaged in this club. I feel like all of this has prepared me to be a leader in some capacity in the work field later on. Yeah. So a little my plan of development. So I feel like strengths. Like I said, organization, time management. I'm really good at following directions. If you tell me what you need me to do, I can do it to a T. Um, I am able to step up to be a leader, but if we're in a group setting and there is a leader, then I'm fine with being a follower. But if nobody else is stepping up, then I'm fine with that. And then I feel like for the future, an area that's really going to help me, my strengths is I have a really personal physical therapy story. So about 4 years ago, I actually got really sick and had a pulmonary embolism. So my heart stopped for about 15 minutes. Luckily, I was in the hospital. But after that, I was just really, really weak. And so I went to physical therapy or had a physical therapist come to me every day for about 2.5 months. And I had to learn how to walk again. I was 18 years old and using a walker in public. And so it was just a really humbling time. And so I can really, really empathize with patients. Like, I know exactly how they feel because I've been there and I had to work really hard to get to where I am today, without any motor deficits. So some areas where I can improve, I would say my confidence, especially in a one-on-one interview. I just get really nervous because I tend to overthink. And so going along with that, just being more personable and extroverted in interview. So my short-term plan is to use my organization skills and my time management to get into grad school and finish this PT application. And hopefully within the coming months, once I hear back from schools, hopefully getting an interview. And so within that time frame, working on confidence with my interview skills. And long term, I really need to be more extrovert when meeting patients, so that I make sure that like they feel welcome and like we can have like some type of personal connection so that they can trust me to be their physical therapist. So in conclusion, this class really taught me to be more comfortable in group work. I haven't had a lot of group work actually in my time at App, which I kind of like personally, because you never know how group projects are going to go. But I've liked the ones that we've done in class, bouncing ideas off of the other person and stuff. It also taught me to be more creative in presentations. Not a super big fan of the whole video thing, but it's a different way to do a presentation, and so it's definitely made me think outside the box a little. And then also just listening to others' ideas. We've done some activities in class where people have said some really good, they've shared some of their thoughts, and I just, different people think different ways, and so I've enjoyed listening to other people's opinions about things. So some of my favorite activities were the resume building. I think that's just really practical and important. And, we're all juniors and seniors, so building a resume is something that we need to do. And then I also really liked the difference between leading and being a manager. And I really liked hearing other people's definitions of what a leader means to them. So that's me, and it's been fun.